I'm in love.
Number 20, 50 First Dates.
Why don't you try this? It's kind of a hinge.
Now, why didn't I think of that?
While many Adam Sandler films are silly, they also have heart. 50 First Dates is one of the best examples of this blend with the inclusion of a fun premise.
I was petting my walrus all morning and I was thinking about you the whole time.
Okay, pervert, I think that you should leave.
Henry Roth wants to date Lucy Whitmore, but then he realizes the latter's amnesia makes their relationship complicated.
Someday she's gonna wake up and look in the mirror and notice her face has aged 10 years overnight.
Sandler's character then becomes a much better person as he wins Drew Barrymore's love interest back every day. There's an undeniable sweetness here as Roth tries everything to proclaim his love for Whitmore. Using the romantic setting of Hawaii, this movie makes you believe again in a relationship that defies the odds.
Would you like to meet your daughter? Go say hello to Mommy.
Hi, Mommy.
Number 19, Definitely Maybe.
I am in fact the toilet paper guy. Feel free to call me the bagel and coffee guy.
While her parents are divorcing, Maya Hayes asks about how they met.
It's time for you to tell me the story.
This creates the setup for Definitely Maybe.
Fine.
A movie full of twists, humor, and lots of romance. Ryan Reynolds plays the dad who recounts his past relationships while seeing if his kid can guess the mother's identity. Abigail Breslin plays Maya, bringing a precocious energy and playing well off of the always reliable Reynolds.
And now that you're in love with April, she's in love with Kevin. And no one's in love with you.
There's also an impressive cast of potential moms that include Elizabeth Banks, Isla Fisher, and Rachel Weisz.
Glad the many millions of Timothys and Williams would be.
I'm a William.
Don't interrupt.
It's also an endearing film about the bond between dads and daughters. Before it's all over, the likable characters give you the sense that Will's love story is far from over.
Oh, you must be Maya.
You must be April.
So what happens now?
You invite us inside, and we tell you the story.
Number 18, Serendipity.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
You want to? You go ahead.
Please.
That's the last one.
If you've ever thought about luck in relationships, Serendipity puts the idea to the ultimate test.
Now promise me you're not just visiting here for a week or marrying somebody to get a green card or on parole.
None of the above.
Sarah meets Jonathan and later tells him about how she lets fate dictate her love life. This sets up an entertaining plot, with the two characters testing if their partnership can last through elevator rides and other strange events.
You don't have to understand, you just have to have faith.
Faith in what?
Destiny.
John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale bring a vibrant energy to their roles, with an ability to play authentic people desperate to find love. Their leads find themselves in surprising situations that eventually bring them back together. Whether or not you believe in the title phrase, this movie does have an unmistakable magic to it.
I'm John.
I'm Sarah.
Number 17, Vicky, Cristina, Barcelona.
It came to the subject of love. It would be hard to find two more dissimilar viewpoints.
Taking a trip to Spain, Vicky and Cristina fall under the spell of the charismatic Juan Antonio Gonzalo. The man woos each woman while working through a complex relationship with his ex-wife, María Elena.
Es guapa, ¿eh?
Sí.
¿Tú crees que va a ser suficiente para ti?
Well, she's quite intelligent and she's a free thinker like you.
Like me?
Yes.
Siempre buscándome en todas las mujeres.
Writer and director Woody Allen crafts a messy love story full of double crosses and secret affairs. You could make an argument that the beautiful and talented cast is worth the price of admission. While that might be true, the movie also features plenty of romance and comedy that makes for an entertaining soap opera.
Right, and remember each other with respect, right, and love and affection. Right?
There's also Penelope Cruz's Oscar-winning performance to round out a chaotic plot. Number 16, Punch Drunk Love.
We should be going. Yep. No, I have to get something for my car.
In a career-altering performance, Adam Sandler shows he's much more than a goofy SNL alum. He plays a tightly wound character named Barry, who's harboring both childlike wonder and primal rage. The businessman juggles family troubles, extortion, and a fledgling romance with Lena Leonard. This doesn't even include his frequent flyer miles scheme that lets him chase Leonard to Hawaii. It's not your average rom-com in any way, making for several unexpected scenes that include confrontations with Philip Seymour Hoffman's Dean. Paul Thomas Anderson's superb direction brings this all together, letting Sandler's brilliant work shine opposite the charming work of Emily Watson.
Could you just let me redeem the mileage?
You left me at the hospital.
Number 15, High Fidelity.
What came first? The music or the misery?
Starring John Cusack, this 2000 rom-com takes an authentic and sometimes uncomfortable look at relationships. The lead character, Rob Gordon, re-examines his life after a breakup by examining the concept of romance.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm certainly not the dumbest. I mean, I've read books like Unbearable Lightness of Being and Love in the Time of Cholera, and I think I've understood them.
Cusack's performance grounds the film while letting the natural humor of it all come out.
So what? You definitely haven't decided to dump me?
High Fidelity is for music lovers, but it's also for people who have survived relationships with music lovers.
No. When are you going home?
In a minute, when I get it together.
And you can't always get what you want.
No, immediate disqualification because of its involvement with the Big Chill.
Oh God, you're right.
It features the universal feeling of uncertainty over yourself, your romantic skills, and your past partnerships.
I always had one foot out the door, and that prevented me from doing a lot of things.
The project even features a killer Marvin Gaye cover by Jack Black. Through it all, we come to care for the lead guy through all his faults.
Giving yourself to me could never be wrong. If the love is true, oh baby.
Number 14, A Walk to Remember.
Nice sweater.
Thank you.
For any fans of this film, the title alone might make you cry. A Walk to Remember features a tragic romance full of inspiring moments.
You have to promise you won't fall in love with me.
The Nicholas Sparks adaptation follows the love story between Landon Carter and Jamie Sullivan. It's a classic tale of opposites attract, one being a bad boy and the other being a much more traditional girl. This doesn't stop them from coming together as their different perspectives fuel a compelling plot.
I told you not to fall in love with me.
Despite Sullivan's cancer diagnosis, the two prove their bond can't be shaken. The heartbreaking narrative features all the highs and lows of teenage relationships.
Jamie and I had a perfect summer together, with more love than lots of people know in a lifetime.
Number 13, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Tula Portokalis just wants to find love, but she's 30 and single. This brings out disapproval from her family and fuels a hilarious rom-com.
May I please date your daughter?
No!
My Big Fat Greek Wedding is full of many culture clashes between the Portokalis family and their potential in-laws.
You done?
Mr. Portokalis, cheese throwing nasty.
Ξέρετε, όταν οι Έλληνες γράφαν φιλοσοφία, εσείς ακόμα καρεμός στα ναύτα.
The main character falls for Ian Miller, welcoming him into her crazy life with traditions and cultural nuances to learn. It's a movie full of all the family drama, awkwardness, and romance that's universal regardless of your ethnicity. The witty script also lets this fairy tale have a healthy dose of memorable lines and catchphrases.
Oh, Taki. He looks Greek.
Number 12. In the Mood for Love. In this 1960s set Hong Kong romance, two people find themselves in a strange predicament. They fall in love after finding out their partners are seeing each other. Wong Kar-wai's timeless drama features stellar lead performances from Maggie Cheung and Tony Leung.
我先生都有條呔同你一模一樣嘅，佢話係佢事頭送俾佢嘅，所以日日都戴住喎。
我太太嘅個手袋同你個一模一樣。
Along the way, both Chow Mo-wan and Su Li-zhen contemplate their potential future together. Their tragic story might feature a fairy tale payoff, but it does set up an open ending that asks viewers to contemplate their own lives. The director's singular directing style creates an unforgettable mood and a deeply romantic experience. Number 11. Bridget Jones's Diary.
Come on, why don't we see if Mark fancies a gherkin?
Good luck.
Mark?
Maybe this was the mysterious Mr. Right I'd been waiting my whole life to meet.
With the central trio of cast members, Bridget Jones's Diary is a classic romance in every sense. Renee Zellweger plays this part perfectly, giving the character a relatable and comic edge.
Apart from the smoking, and the drinking, and the vulgar mother, and the verbal diarrhea.
No, I like you very much. Just as you are.
She plays the publicity assistant who writes in her diary and can't stop pining over two men. The latter duo happens to be the incredible Colin Firth and Hugh Grant.
Take it you're also heading for the Alconbury's Rockery.
Yes, that's right.
I brought Natasha. Get a bit of work done, thought I might make it a not entirely wasted weekend.
How interesting.
Along the way, audiences are treated to an engaging love triangle that's full of great banter. Zellweger is at the top of her game, with an impressive accent and bubbly energy that you can't help but love.
I just have something that I want to say. You once said that you like me just as I am, and I just wanted to say likewise.
The title role and concept were so successful that they brought the actress back for multiple sequels. Number 10. Love Actually.
Do you love him?
What?
No, I just thought I'd ask the blunt question in case it was the right one and you needed someone to talk to about it, and no one had ever asked you, so you've never been able to talk about it even though you might have wanted to.
No, is the answer. No, absolutely not.
In most romantic films, the action is centered on two, maybe three people, and the various trials and tribulations that go along with falling head over heels. This British rom-com turns things up a notch, focusing on 10 different stories that have one thing in common: love.
I'm so in the wrong. A classic fool.
Yes, but you've also made a fool out of me.
Set in London 5 weeks before Christmas, this film follows a rock and roller, a couple of adult film stars, a sexually frustrated graphic designer, and even the Prime Minister.
Natalie.
Get a grip.
They, along with an array of other characters, suffer through the ups and downs of searching for, finding, and holding on to loved ones. Teeming with endless wit and warmth to match, Love Actually reminds us that love is all you need.
All you need is love. All you need is love.
Number 9. Lost in Translation.
You really are having a midlife crisis, huh?
Really? I was afraid of that.
Do you ever feel like an aging movie star falling in love with a much younger married woman during a business trip to Tokyo? Okay, neither do we, but this is the premise of this film from the early 2000s.
What do you do?
I'm not sure yet, actually. I just graduated last spring.
When Bob begins to fall for Charlotte during his time in Tokyo, it becomes clear that their relationship has an expiration date. Set to the backdrop of jazzy hotel bars and the exciting nightlife of a city caught in a non-stop bustle, this film is really about spontaneous relationships and how we handle them. Beautifully scripted and shot to perfection by Sofia Coppola, you'll be booking the next flight to Japan to chase down love after seeing this film.
The more you know who you are and what you want, the less you let things upset you.
Yeah. Number 8, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Hi, hello. Hi.
Have you ever broken up with someone and wished that you could erase all memory of him or her from your mind? This film takes that premise and uses it to create a world where deleting bad memories from your brain is on par with a trip to the dentist.
What is it?
I don't know. It's some place that does a thing.
Joel is thrilled when he meets a woman during an impulsive trip to the beach. There's only one problem. Has he met her before? This love story is about as unconventional as they come. The off-the-wall writing and the mind-bending sets are paired perfectly with the warmth put forward by the two main characters.
You erased me. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this in the first place.
I'm sorry.
You.
You know me. I'm impulsive.
Definitely a weird one. It's sure to make you re-examine some of your past relationships.
I can't see anything that I don't like about you.
But you
right
will.
Now I can't.
But you will. You know, you will think of things. And I'll get bored with you and feel trapped because that's what happens with me.
Number 7, Amélie. Don't be deterred by the subtitles. This beautiful and quirky flick is overflowing with moments that will stick with you long after the credits have rolled.
Hello?
Suivez les flèches bleues, Monsieur Quincampoix.
Huh?
When timid Parisian waitress Amélie makes a concerted effort to improve the lives of those around her, she quickly discovers that her own happiness is diminishing. From there, she decides to pursue an eccentric man prone to collecting photographs.
Elle est jolie? Pas mal. Pas mal. Pas mal. Belle. Plutôt jolie. Ah non, belle. Jolie. Jolie. Et qu'est-ce qu'elle me veut? Elle est fauchée. Elle espère une récompense en échange de l'album. Ou alors, elle fait aussi la collecte de photomaton.
As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that love is a two-way street, and one must give as much as one takes. A critical and commercial success, this film reminded audiences that love is all around us, and to see it, you must simply open your eyes. Number 6, 500 Days of Summer.
I love the Smiths.
Sorry?
I said I love the Smiths. You've good taste in music.
You like the Smiths?
Yeah.
Is Joseph Gordon-Levitt the John Cusack of today? It sure feels like it during this unique love story. This film takes a fresh approach to a tired genre and is chock full of moments sure to make you smile.
There's a Chinese family in our bathroom.
When hopeless romantic Tom falls for the titular Summer, things don't go exactly as planned for either of them. The film takes us on a journey through the 500 days of their relationship, jumping from moment to moment to give audiences a well-rounded view of the characters' time together.
Okay. So what is it, the movie?
It's nothing. I'm just being stupid.
At its heart, this romantic flick is about the struggles we all go through when falling in love.
You never wanted to be anybody's girlfriend, and now you're somebody's wife.
It surprised me too.
I don't think I'll ever understand that.
Number 5, Brokeback Mountain.
Jack twist.
Yes.
When a passionate connection emerges between two people, it simply cannot be ignored. In the summer of 1963, two cowboys fall in love while herding sheep through the Wyoming mountains. As their lives move in different directions, the two men struggle to balance their affair with their respective marriages. This film is an intimate look into the lives of two men brought together by love, but kept apart by society.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Filled with an array of tender moments that are brilliantly juxtaposed with the wild and untamed nature of the landscape, this love story truly stood out when it was first released, and still stands as a great romance flick today.
Got your message about the divorce.
Number 4. Pride and Prejudice. She may have died almost 200 years ago, but Jane Austen is still making the world tear up with her works of romantic fiction.
Mr. Darcy is not to be teased.
You're too proud, Mr. Darcy. And would you consider pride a fault or a virtue?
That I couldn't say.
Because we're doing our best to find a fault in you.
Adapted for audiences in the mid-2000s, this film follows Elizabeth Bennet as she falls in love with the reserved upper-class gentleman, Mr. Darcy.
From the first moment I met you, your arrogance and conceit, your selfish disdain for the feelings of others made me realize that you were the last man in the world I could ever be prevailed upon to marry.
While he initially spurns her advances, Mr. Darcy soon comes to appreciate Elizabeth, with a deep passion burning inside them both. This period piece is filled with universal themes that are sure to connect with even the staunchest of critics.
You have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love you. I never wish to be parted from you from this day on.
And if historical British romances are your thing, don't forget to check out Atonement. Plenty of Keira Knightley in that one too.
Don't you know? Yes, I know exactly.
Number 3. The Notebook.
Fine, I'll go out with you.
Well, don't do me any favors.
No, I want to.
You want it?
Yes!
You want it. Say it.
I want to go out with you.
There wasn't a dry eye in the house when this romance first graced the silver screen. Based on the novel by swoon-inducing writer Nicholas Sparks, this film was the go-to date movie for the mid-2000s teenager.
You want to dance with me?
Taking place in South Carolina in the 1940s, working-class Noah falls hard for Allie, a girl who hails from a family of wealth and privilege. While society attempts to keep them apart, their love slowly blossoms from teenage lust to passionate romance.
It wasn't over for me. I waited for you for 7 years. Now it's too late.
I wrote you 365 letters. I wrote you every day for a year.
Filled with tender moments that will inspire both the hopelessly romantic and the stoically reserved, this film is sure to leave you reaching for the tissues.
We're gonna have to work at this every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want all of you, forever, you and me, every day.
Number 2. Moulin Rouge.
How wonderful life is. Now you're in the world.
Overflowing with style and packed to the gills with raw sexuality, this classic has more than enough romance to go around. Set in turn-of-the-century Paris and centered on the exploits of the infamous Moulin Rouge cabaret, a young poet falls hard for the club's most provocative dancer.
We could be heroes forever and ever.
Brought to life through the mad genius of Australian director Baz Luhrmann, this film pays homage to a high-flying time of eccentric parties and declarations of love that has since passed us by. Playing the roles of star-crossed lovers to perfection, Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman ooze romance from start to finish.
He loves me. And that is worth everything. We're going away from you, away from the Duke, away from the Moulin Rouge!
Earning wide acclaim, this film had many yearning for a fling in the City of Lights. Number 1. Before Sunset. Taking place 9 years after the events of its 1995 predecessor, this film once again follows Jesse and Celine as they walk the streets of a beautiful European city while discussing life, love, sex, and the cultural differences that define them.
I think the world might be getting better because people like you are educated and speaking out. Even the very notion of conservation, environmental issues, those weren't even in the vocabulary until fairly recently, and they're becoming the norm. And eventually might be what's expected all over the world.
The film feels less like a sequel and more like a chance encounter with an old friend, sprinkled with moments of innocent flirtation, melancholic memories, and hope for the future.
To the end of my life feeling I haven't done all I wanted to do.
Well, what do you want to do?
I want to paint more. I want to play my guitar every day. I want to learn Chinese.
simplistic in its style, Before Sunset is overflowing in intimacy.
What do you think the chances were of us ever meeting again?
After that December, I'd say almost zero.
With the connection between the two protagonists pushing and pulling the narrative forward. While the film operates as a realistic portrayal of a fantastical situation, the strong writing and impassioned performances make it a romance for the ages.
Baby, you are gonna miss that plane.
I know.
Did we forget another classic romance from the 2000s? Let us know in the comments.
It wasn't over. It still isn't over.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.